G'day everybody, welcome back again to the Dangles Jiu-Jitsu channel. Today we're going to look at how we can isolate the arm from the mount position, okay, and how we can finish a number of different ways depending on what opportunities our opponent presents us. Okay, so straight away, start on top of the mount. Very common approach if we're up high in a mid-mount here, which has been made sort of famous by Gordon Ryan and John Danaher the last few years, is to, rather than pressing on our opponent's hands with their hands this way, to actually cross over and use that underhand grip to be able to get more powerful pressure on their arm to take their hand to the mat. That is a very useful way to do it, but I've always found if I do a baseball grip, I get the best of both worlds, where I get that under grip, but I get a 2-on-1 as well. So if I am here and Jase has got a nice defensive posture here, I'm going to make sure I get that hand positioning in. Sometimes they're really strong here and it's going to still be difficult to deal with, so I want to always double up. Okay, when I double up now, again, I can just hold his hand here, but I want to put weight through it. So I'm always wanting to try and impose my weight on my opponent. And you can do a good little test with this one by getting a set of scales and putting your hands on the scales when you're sitting back and then leaning forward and then lifting your knees off the ground. You can triple your weight doing this. So if I'm here with somebody and I'm just holding their hand here, Jase will be able to move his hand around if he needs to. But as soon as I bring my weight forward, keeping stiff arms here and starting to impose my weight right over the top of him, makes it more difficult. But the trick to this now to make it work really well is I'm going to lift my knees off the ground. So now he's really taking all my weight. Okay, and we looked at this in a previous video as well. If Jase is here, he can put his thumb to his chest quite easily. If he takes his hand across, he won't be able to get his thumb all the way to his shoulder here. Okay, it's just physically not possible anatomically. So if at any time I can get weight on this and start to work that weight out towards his shoulder, it causes a lot of pain in your elbow, and people will give that arm up and allow you to take it to the ground. Okay, so we're here, we pick our side. I make sure my arms are straight so I can put all my weight through those stiff arms, get my head and shoulders over the top of the arm. It basically doubles the weight. Now if I lift my knees off, that triples and I start to bounce that arm over. As soon as it goes down now again, I'm in a great position where I can come through, get control of his arm here. And again, in terms of submissions here, a lot of times I really love this head and arm Americana. We call it a head-acana control. From here, a lot of times, one way for him to defend is to bring his elbow in nice and tight to his body again. And when he does, it just opens up an opportunity for me to come, sit behind, get my leg out in front here, and now I've got this great controlling position. It looks like it shouldn't be powerful, but if Jase tries to bridge into me here now, as long as I keep his hand on the mat, it's very difficult for him to be able to knock me over. And now, depending on what he does with his other arm, I'll either swing through, work into a triangle attack, or an armbar, based on whatever presents itself there. That's good. So obviously with that, once I start putting that sort of pressure in through that wrist there, people will do one of two things. They'll stop me trying to go in this direction. They'll either bring their hands back or they can even bridge. Generally speaking, if they bridge either way, once I've got that weight through here, if Jase bridges over to his left here, I'll go down and his hand will slide off. If he bridges in the other direction, again, his hand will slide off as well. So if I have weight on there, the bridge actually helps me rather than hinders me. But if I am here and I start to put pressure on and start to lift up to drive out towards this side, he starts to bring it back the other way. I shift my attention, come back the other direction, and now I get into a good gift wrap position. Same thing again, a lot of people will chase the back from here, but it's a great option here to dig back underneath, expose this other arm, and now I get what I think is the tightest and most controlling of all of the arm bars from the mount. I've still got my gift wrap here. He can't defend this second arm. I can come through straight away now, let it go when I want to, and finish up in the top position. So that's good. So that's two good stiff arm approaches. Same as always, sometimes you'll try that, it won't be effective. We need a follow-up. So this follow-up, I actually learnt from ex-training partner, Shahar Khan. Great guy, he's got a gym down in Canberra called Shibuya. So if you're ever in Canberra in Australia, make sure you drop in and say go to Shahar. Very similar approach. Rather than being up here with a stiff arm, we're going to drop down and use our forearm. Okay, and again, as always, one's good, two is generally better. So I'm going to make a cross with my forearms directly across his forearm here, and I'm going to drive my elbow towards his ear. Okay, so that gets us straight down, putting his hand to the mat again. Often with this one, because your forearm is in place already, it's very easy to get straight through and get into an Americana style finish. Okay, so another really good way to attack from there. And lastly, with this same sort of approach, attacking the wrists, if I've tried stiff arming, if I feel like I can't get any work happening with the cross on the forearm there. If I'm pressing in, a lot of times I'll have the ability, if I'm getting strong resistance, to actually just pull up enough that I can dive my hand underneath. Once my hand goes underneath and I grab the tricep, I'm going to turn my body down, and now I can drive with my body weight, driving all the way through to get my arm over here. Again, building back up, taking the head position. Once I'm here, we've got a whole bunch of options. If Jase tries to bring his hand back up to protect, I can come underneath, get both his elbows up above his head, swing through for our armbar finish. So there you have it. There's 4 good ways to attack the wrist. Okay, the wrist and the forearm from the top position from our mid mount. One final thing, just looking at it from here, the other great option that people look at is obviously getting underneath the elbows. Okay, so if I get under the elbows to get the elbow above the shoulder line up close to his ear, that's going to give me a lot of great options. Great way to get down low here and come through and ratchet his hand up. But a lot of times, one of the problems with this position, or one of the difficulties, can be actually just catching under his elbow here to get the very first part of the movement. So we can do it. If you've got a cross face, it can be difficult. So one thing I recommend is I get here, I'm going to take his ear to his other shoulder. So I catch the top of his head, pull his head across, and you'll see his arm can't help but get exposed there. Now I've got this, I lift it up, and now I come back the other direction, and we're in a great position. We can come through, set up, and work through to a finish. Okay, so there you go, guys. There's 5 options how to attack the wrist, the forearm, and the elbow from the mounted top position. So give it a go.